All right, all right, all right. Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you for carving out some time to spend with us. Welcome to Conversations with Geoff. Hey, hey, hey. You know what? We want to make sure that all of you that have been supporting us, we recognize that and we really do appreciate that. And for those of you that are new, I mean, you're in for a treat, right? I mean, not only because it's Conversations with Geoff, but our guest coming up, man. See, if you don't know our guests and their style, all you gotta do is just relax and settle in, right? All right. So, and a couple things before we get started. Our request for you today is this: really simple. It's still a conversation. The chat is how you talk to us. So, man, really blow up the chat. Hey, tell us who you are. Tell us what you do. Let us know if you can resonate or if you got a question about what our guest is talking about. Please, please, please turn off your email notifications, your clubhouse notifications, all that stuff around you, TV, whatever it is, and kind of just settle in, right? Get yourself a nice cup of coffee, tea, green juice, lunchtime, a cocktail if that's what you want, depending on where you are in the world. This is water, so so all right, that's how we do it. That's how we roll with Conversations with Geoff, right? So that's our request. I already see people telling us, "No, hey, Steph, nice to see you." And when you come on, if you're in Facebook, drop in your name also, because for some reason we don't know who you are, and I don't want to leave anybody's name out. All right, so drop the questions in the chat, participate, turn off all the noise, and have some fun today. Today, the word is joy. Have some joy in this conversation. Can we all do that? All right. So listen. Got to tell you, our mission statement is to create empowering messages, encouraging, empowering, inspiring messages that you can have the conversation with yourself about yourself. I'm going to say that again. Empowering messages that you can have with yourself about yourself. All right. And why is that important? Well, look around. I mean, pick something. The world is kind of crazy. I don't know. I mean, inflation, dictatorship, just all kind of stuff. Hey, Stephanie, thank you for showing up. Appreciate that. Right, so there's all kinds of distractions that we cannot control. That's the thing. And why this show was created, right? It was created because as a real estate investor, I was known as the king of rehabs. And other investors would come along and they were struggling, right? My name is Geoff Tyson, by the way, if I didn't tell you that. And so, and it was about the mind trash that they brought along to the story. I'm going to get to our speaker, but I want you to understand the gift that we all have, the blessing that we all have, and focusing on the conversations that we have with ourselves about ourselves. Remember, empowering, encouraging, motivational. And here's the kicker. It's not just motivation. Motivation is temporary, baby. The transformation is permanent. Right? And you're going to hear that from our guest, right? I mean, she is going to just, let me be quiet. I do have one other thing for you. I want you to write down, grab a pen and paper. I have pen and paper. My wife tells me, Geoff, people don't use that anymore. So grab your iPhone or your pad, whatever it is. I love my wife, man. She kind of keeps me in tune with what's really going on, right? Because she knows I'm old fashioned. I still leave messages. She says, why are you leaving a message? People don't listen to messages. I digress. I'm sorry. So here we go. What I ask you to do. Hey, Stacy, love it. Thank you for showing up. Listen, I want to say this to you, is that I want you to write down 2 words and then we'll get to what we're here for. And I want you to take these words and use them all the time. And those 2 words are I am, and then you can finish it, right? I'll give you an example. I am unstoppable. I am worthy. I am capable. Those are just a few things, right? And because they're going to be the other ones, I am stressed out. I am worried. Those are the energy drainers, all right? So I challenge you to take that word, that exercise away from this message today and stay on the side of I am unstoppable and see how you feel, all right? So anyway, that's your assignment. Besides the other one I gave you, I'm going to review the details of our guest. A quick review of her bio because there's some powerful things in it. She is a life design and purpose coach, moved through her own struggles to create this opportunity that she does for people, right? Getting stuck in the hustle. This might be all of us, feeling anxious at times and out of touch with the true self. Anybody fit into any of those categories, right? I mean, man, I know I have. And fellas, by the way, She does focus on females, but you better listen up too, because the nuggets we all can use. So I don't hear about, listen. Just listen up, guys. All right. So she does that now. She gets to live the transformation of radically accepting herself and building a life on purpose. She loves helping women shed anxiety, overwhelm, and the hustle. We know what that hustle is, right? That crazy hustle that has us going all over the place. Man. So that they can step into the confidence and peace of knowing who they really are and creating the life they love. So with no further ado, allow me to introduce to you my friend and our guest, Annaliese Seaborn, baby. Here we go. Let me see if I can bring her on here. All right, got it.
Hey, everybody. It's so good to be here. Hey, Geoff.
Hey, Annaliese.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for carving it out, because I think, right, you kind of squeezed us in. Don't you have a vacation coming up or something?
I do. I'm leaving on Saturday. My brain doesn't even know what to do with that. It's very excited, though. So this is great to be here, though.
2-week vacation or something, right?
Oh, yeah. It's the longest vacation I would have never dreamed I could take a vacation that long. So I'm super pumped for it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So give us a secret. Where are you going again?
We're going to Anna Maria Island. It's usually where we take our yearly vacation. We've just never had one this long, and it's going to be just great. It's a little sleepy-ish town in Florida. So, yeah. Yeah,
those are the best times, though, right? I mean,
so good.
Unplug and all that stuff, right?
That's what it's about.
No doubt. But we know you put us in here, so I'm going to get right to it. I want the people to really understand why I'm excited about having you here this morning, right? So let's just kind of go through it. You know, I mean, I gave that bio, but anything on there that I mentioned that kind of triggered a thought before we get into some of the other things we talked about?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why I'm saying this right now, but I need to say it right now. When you get free of the hustle, it doesn't mean it's not something you experience yourself moving through each day and making decisions about, am I going to join that or am I going to not join that today? So I just want to encourage people that it's not like, sometimes we hear these breakthrough stories and these transformation stories, and it's like, oh my word, is that even possible? And I want to tell you from where I'm sitting right now, yes, it's 100% possible to get breakthrough there and transformation there. And also, you will continue to struggle, but you're going to know what to do with it. You're going to know how to move yourself through it. That's part of what the breakthrough is. And it's going to happen quicker and quicker and quicker. So I just wanted to clarify, like, that's some of the other side of the fence that I'm on right now. Yeah. And I just I want whoever is watching, I want you to feel that it can be real for you, and it's not pie in the sky. You're doing work that matters, and that's going to impact you. That will bring you to transformation. So yeah, that's what I'm excited to talk about today. Yeah.
I love that. I mean, and so true for anybody, male or female, right? I mean,
that's right.
And because, so then, you know, you talked about that early on in life, right? I mean, one of the big roadblocks is block is clarity, you know, as a youngster, I call it, you know, throughout college and all that.
Yeah.
And so you probably hustled more. How was that hustle then? It was probably crazy.
Oh, yeah. It was, I mean, and it's turn it up a notch. I don't know if anybody watching is familiar with the Enneagram. It's a personality tool that has brought me the most transformation in my life. I'm kind of a personality test junkie too. I've like taken all of that stuff. I'm fascinated by how we work as humans and why we tend to behave the ways that we tend to behave, and how stress affects us and stuff like that. So I kind of geek out over that stuff. But the Enneagram kind of shone a light for me on, oh my word, I have the hustle basically built into my DNA. I'm like productivity oriented, like always trying to overachieve. It's just been part of how I've experienced myself living life. And I never knew there could be another way. So I always felt from an early age too, like if I'm going to get something, I'm going to have to bust it to get it, you know?
Yeah.
And always work was hard, you know, those things were hard. And I enjoyed doing a lot of different kinds of things. So that's what I meant by like, I didn't feel like I had clarity right out of the gate, because there were so many things I enjoyed. I connected to a lot of things. I love people.
Yeah.
You can help people in a lot of different ways. I don't know if you guys knew that, but there are many, many ways to do that. And I think I got caught up too in I didn't know what to label what I did. I didn't know what to call it. I didn't know which career field would be the right fit. And I felt like, I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but I felt like if I'm going to pull the trigger on something, I have to know 100%.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah. So that made me say no to a lot of things. And it made me say no to a lot of things inside of me that I thought that I knew, but then I was second guessing myself because I was seeing other examples. So I might be rambling here, but
no,
that's what it felt like.
Yeah. And it reminds me of a conversation we had about this. And if you will allow me to kind of trigger your thinking around, remember you talked about the hustle, and in that process, we don't ever celebrate the small wins. It's always what's next. It's
always what's next.
Yeah, always what's next. And really, that's another way of seeking perfection, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you remember that conversation?
Yeah, I think I do. Yeah. And then those present, like, how do you honor the fact that you're a present being? All you have is right now.
Right.
And you get to like live in the present energy, but are you going to use your present energy on stuff that hasn't even happened yet, may not happen? Maybe that's negative. But maybe it's positive and you're super excited, but you're only excited for things that are coming. You're not excited about what you have.
Yeah.
It brings up this concept that I learned last year, which is want what you have. Practice wanting what you already have, because there was a time that you have things now. There was a time that you wanted those things and you have them, but don't gloss it over, your own experience of your life. So that's what the hustle has been for me, and not having clarity has been for me before, is it's held me back from me being me and me just getting to live my life as a person. Instead of as like a series of achievements that I've done.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. Series of achievements. And I wrote down practicing wanting, what you have, and appreciating that, the series of different things. So that's really incredible. And you said something about hard to leave the hustle, but what, if you don't mind, I always like to ask. When you found out, when you dug a little deeper, we always encourage people to kind of take a look back and snapshot of what really was the catalyst that created that being, that hustler. Can you share with the audience what that was for you?
Honestly, I think it's been a string of waking up moments for me. When people talk about hitting rock bottom, that's oftentimes when they had a light bulb moment. They had a realization that was really potent about, this is my life. And now I have a choice. Like, I can't unknow what I know now, the perspective that I now have. I wouldn't say it was like hitting rock bottom, but I've struggled in the past with depression, with anxiety. And it kind of runs in my family. So I sort of told myself, this is my lot in life. I guess this is just how it feels. And just never really questioned it. And it got to a point where it was like, literally, I dreaded work every day, had a lot of anxiety before I would go into work, because work was obviously productive. But me just being on my own for a couple hours in the morning, doing nothing, I didn't know where to categorize that. It felt really, really uncomfortable. And that's where my anxiety came in. And I think just like waking up one day and being like, this is not just going to go away.
Yes.
Huh. What do I do about that? Like, and you feel this feeling of like, there's got to be more, right? That is a gift to you, to remind you there is another way.
Yeah.
And we're not made to live as robots. And unfortunately, there aren't a lot of examples around us in our culture of people who are living like really, truly proactive, intentional lives that they're picking.
Yes.
They're living within systems that our culture and society kind of are driven by.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I just want to challenge that for you guys. That was very uncomfortable realization for me that I had a choice.
Yeah.
But some discomfort is there to prove to you that you can step outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah, that's
So
powerful right
it's
there. And you're living proof of that. And was there some old messages before you finally said, you decided, but there were, can you remember?
Yeah, totally. So I call this like, we got to update ourselves. Okay. So I'm 37. Yeah. I'm 37. Yes. I love it. I'm proud of it. That's one of my values is I always want to be somebody that owns my age.
Yes.
That I'm really proud of it.
Yes.
But it's very important that I'm not telling myself a story that was true about when I was 26.
Ooh.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. So we go through different seasons of life. Are we owning that we're changing and growing and evolving as well? And it's up to me. Nobody else is going to tell me the truth of where I'm at now.
Yeah.
I may have some similar negative feelings or some similar triggering circumstances. But I don't go to the same place that I went when I was 26.
Yeah.
Like I get to tell myself today, when you said those I am statements at the beginning of this, which I encourage you guys to, watch the whole thing as well. If you missed those, but that's the power of what an affirmation is to me, is it's my chance to update myself. I'm saying what's currently true. So if I get a trigger, right, an old limiting thought, you can't do that.
Yes.
What you're doing is not enough. It can't be enough because that person's doing way more than you. I mean, all of this stuff is happening all the time inside of me. And I get to put it where it belongs. When a thought occurs to you, it's not automatically true.
Yes. Yes.
That shocked me when I first found that out. I was like, no one told me I had a choice about this. Like, I'm sitting here like, here's this spiel about how I suck. I'm not that great. I don't know what I'm doing. And no matter how much I learn, it will never, ever be enough. I get to tell that thought now. You're not true. You're actually irrelevant. I'm past believing you. So bye. Let it free. It just doesn't belong in my life story. So yeah.
Yeah, and I want to, don't you think though, it took a minute for you to become aware of that even happening?
Yes. So you'll even hear as I'm talking through some of this, man, like one of the self-perceptions that I had was I can't slow down. I don't know how to rest. Quiet time is for people who are not me.
Yeah.
Must be, because I don't know how to do that. And it literally has taken my very first steps in that kind of growth and in doing those practices was forcing myself to do it before I believed it could work. Because I was about to discount the whole thing. I was like, if any of these growth things involve quiet, slowing down, having less in my schedule, being silent, then it's not for me.
Yeah.
And then you will eventually come to a point where you have tried everything else and it does not work, because the way even our brain chemistry is, the way that our bodies work with our spirits and with our minds, your body, mind, spirit, that's you.
That's right.
You show up as all of you everywhere you go, whether you're paying attention to those other parts of you or not.
Yeah.
And the slowing down is what creates margin in your brain, even for the two hemispheres to even talk to each other.
Yes.
When you talked about mind trash in the beginning, Geoff, like, what is this mind trash, right? We all deal with it. But I want whoever's watching right now, like, I want you to get that you get to pick what you do with it.
Yes.
That's what it, and if I'd never slowed down, if I didn't physically stop myself from just moving on to the next thing, because that's my wiring.
Yes.
I would naturally move to the next thing. It naturally feels like the right next thing to do. But I had to build in consciously and intentionally, no, I physically stop first.
Mm. Well, it's kind of like it becomes our identity too, right?
It does.
And for me, a lot of my life was a dressed up garbage can, right? I say it a lot. We won't go into it today, but everything I felt got stuffed in the garbage can, right?
Yes.
So on the outside, I was a corporate guy and all these things, man, and that was the image, but it wasn't who I was.
Right.
And you have to also be willing to step away from how you see yourself.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And it's very scary. And I want to encourage anybody that feels discomfort even thinking about that. That's okay. and it actually makes sense. It's okay to be scared of something you've not done yet.
Yes.
But I want to encourage you, this is a hidden reality. When you step into uncertainty, you were built to handle whatever you uncover.
Yeah. Wow. Say that one more time. Built,
yes.
baby.
Whenever you step into uncertainty or discomfort, you were built to handle whatever you uncover. You were designed for it. So I know you've heard that phrase, you can do hard things, right?
Yes.
I love to take that up a notch and just be like, you were made to do hard things.
Yes. Yes.
You're capable already. It's these thoughts that if they just run and you don't like knock on the door and be like, excuse me, what are we producing here? Is this helpful for us? Like if you're not stepping into that process, they're going to try to, all your brain is trying to do is protect you.
That's right.
But you get to be the adult and make decisions about what's actually going to be helpful for you.
That's right.
You don't have to outsource that to just your brain's self-protecting.
Yeah. And the brain's a 2 million-year-old brain, right? So think about back in the day when the cavemen were running around, dinosaurs were rolling, right? So,
that was actually real. That was really happening for them.
That was happening. Right? So it protects you. So that's a great point you made, man. So I got a couple of things I want people to make sure they hear. We can talk about this forever. So I really, this is really good stuff. I appreciate it. So let's talk about you made about some overcoming. You're most proud of your willingness to seek out hard truths.
Yeah.
You're sharing some of that now.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, so let's talk about the radical acceptance.
Radical.
Yeah. What was
it's radical. Like? It's radical because again, you feel the discomfort of it. When I realized that part of me doing new practices for myself, doing life in a different way, part of doing that meant that I had to treat myself better. I was like, who cares about that? Like, why would I? That seems like, who cares? And it's precisely that was the reason I needed to do that. Because think about, you are you, okay? You get to live your life. Nobody else can live your life for you, and no one else can be you. So every day that you wake up, you're a person as well going about your day. Everything that's productive in your life can't just be about other people because it starts with you.
Yeah.
And even, so I'm a Christian, I'm a Jesus follower, and I gain a lot of insights from the Bible, and it talks about how if you're going to love your neighbor, you need to love yourself first. That's at least how I take that verse.
Yes.
Because if we're going to love our neighbor as ourselves, that's not a whole lot of actual authentic love I get to give my neighbor if I have no love for me.
That's right.
And it was bizarre. It was bizarre to take ownership of that in my life. And it's a lot of the work I do with my clients too, where, people come to me and they've got a problem and they have an idea of what the solution is going to be.
Okay.
And the solution is almost always external, right? It's like, I hate my job. It's making my life miserable. So
Yeah.
I need another job.
Yeah.
Very simply and obviously.
Right.
And I'm not saying that that wouldn't help, because it probably would help. But I'm saying, like, where are you at?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
if that wasn't the solution that's going to, like, will that make you ultimately happy in your life? Just
Yes.
changing your job,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes.
Have you even checked with yourself,
Yeah.
like, beyond being uncomfortable, what do
Mm.
I want? What do I enjoy?
Yeah.
What makes me who I am? Am I trying to get just a new job, or
Yeah.
am I trying to get something that I know is going to be meaningful to me because I actually spent some time with myself
Yeah.
and I decided I cared a little
There
about
you
what I
go.
enjoy.
There
So,
you go.
yeah, it's pretty wild, just that switch.
Yeah. Well, you said something really important. You decided, you made a decision to care about yourself. That just
Yeah.
didn't happen.
No,
Would
it
you
didn't
agree
just
that
happen.
there was
And
some work?
I would even say it wouldn't have just happened. That would not have happened automatically. Not for me. I was moving 80 miles an hour, got 10 irons in the fire. That's about where I want things for my life.
Yeah.
And it got to be so heavy and so weighty. I wasn't living as a person. I was basically being a hustle robot. And so, yeah, I had to switch that around, and that's what it took. It took actually caring about what I was going through in order to want to change it.
Well, and then you said something really powerful too, Annaliese, about treating yourself better,
Hmm.
right? I mean, just treating yourself better, and then learning. And any relationship, you said this also.
Yeah,
You can't have love until you learn love for yourself, right? And
yeah, yeah.
sometimes it takes others to love on you until you can get
It's true. Very true.
there. And so I love that part of it. I'm going to skip a few things because of
Yeah,
really, I mean, this has really been good, and the chat room, people are loving it, and thanks to everybody for
nice,
participating.
awesome.
Yes, and so let me just back up just a second, because I think it'll be really important.
Yeah,
When you mentioned, you recognize the depression, and you did something about it.
yeah.
But in that valley, when it was, do you mind sharing maybe? Do you even remember when you
Oh,
were in that valley where it's like, I mean, right before you
yeah.
got to the other side? How was that for us? Can you share that?
Yeah. It was so low. I felt I knew something. I knew that it needed to change. Like, I knew I needed to feel the weight off. But I think I was aware that it was going to need to be me reaching out
Mm,
and I mean, I was not comfortable. I had a lot of shame issues with, I need help. I don't know
yeah,
how to do this.
yeah,
I'm not just waking up one day and it's gone.
yeah,
So I have to ask for help.
yeah.
That was a big hit to my pride,
Oh
but it was
yeah,
exactly that's what I needed, you guys. We're
yeah,
all humans.
yeah.
We're all limited and we struggle. We have weaknesses.
Yes,
Know what your weaknesses are and know it with compassion so you can go get the help you need.
yeah,
It's what I needed to do. And I'm not berating myself for being there, but we all have to learn at some point, right?
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, it was so low that I was like, I know I need to ask for help. And it feels so unfair that I need to be the one to ask for help because I'm the one who's hurt and I'm the
Yeah,
one who's struggling right now.
yeah.
So I did. I got a counselor. Yeah, I got a counselor. She helped me quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And what I really came out of there realizing was I need to be the adult.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
looking around here like, where's the adult? Somebody tell me what to do here because I need to keep moving. That was
yeah.
my thing. Like, if I'm not moving and not being productive, then I'm not of value to
Right.
anyone.
That's right.
But it was my own assessment of that. And I was assessing it from a very low place. So of course I had a low assessment. So
Mm.
it just was never going to work out naturally like that, right? Like, you can hear the cycle was not writing itself.
Yeah,
So
vicious cycle, and you get the answers from yourself.
That's the thing. And that's the thing we got to catch, which I love that I came across life coaching as a career, because it was like, oh, this is what exists to help people hear themselves back to themselves in a way that they can be like, I said that? Oh, wait, I think that? I mean, it's brilliant, you guys, like having this light shined like right on the problematic stuckness.
Yeah.
And just you get to see it clearly for the first time is like, I can't explain that feeling. It's amazing, because to know that you could have never done it on your own is actually a huge relief.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you said something, pride, and I was going to say ego. Pride and ego, I know has been my hurdle to surrender when I needed help. You know, it's like, you know, that's the sign of weakness. You know, surrender is the sign of weakness. But in reality, what you're saying in your message is when you decided, hey, you kind of maybe just try to raise the flag a little bit. I need some help.
Yes.
Whisper.
Right? Yes. Yes. That was what it was. I had a friend, I co-coach with a friend of mine who's also a coach. So we spend a couple times a month coaching each other, and it's great. What's great is she has an extra insight because she knows how the coaching brain works too, right? So she goes, hey, she's like, it sounds like you're treating yourself like you're the exception. So this is 2-ish years ago, before I did a lot of what I call the overhaul of really taking ownership and really radically accepting myself. We're all on a growth journey, right? Just sidebar. This takes time. We're all on a journey. So you got to be open. Where's that person going to come from? Or where's that thought going to come from that's going to challenge the one that you're struggling with, right? So she goes, it sounds like you're the exception. And I am not joking. One voice in me was like, no, I'm not. And another voice in me at the exact same time was like, yeah, I am. I'm saying I'm the exception. Oh, and you got to pay attention to that. There's a true self inside of you that's like, hey, you need help. Can you please help? Please, you get to help. Like, this is your real self. Help me. Help me live my life. So everybody's got that inside of them, right?
And it's difficult. I mean, the whole stigma around help and all that, you know, and that's why your message is so powerful. People just need to know that, you know, hey, people do it and the results are good. And Stacey Lang says, yes, be open, you know, have to be open and update ourselves and be aware of that. So that's really great stuff. So, you know,
like
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I just jotted down a couple things that clients have told me in the last couple weeks. Because I just thought it would be powerful. So one of them said, I realize in me that when fear is talking to me, fear is telling me that I don't know. And then she was like, and you know what I'm realizing? When I'm in love with myself and for myself, when I'm standing in a place of love for myself, love says, I know enough.
Wow.
And that was massive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And another client said, I knew that my problem was I needed to let go, but I didn't believe that if I let go, it would be okay.
Wow.
So it wasn't that I didn't know what to do. It's that I didn't trust that if I did it, it would be okay. And she said, I now know that I can let go and be okay because I actually pushed myself to do it. And I want you guys to hear too, whoever's listening, like, hear how simple it is to follow through on what you know, because your real self inside of you that's like, hey, can you help? That self trusts you to do what you know.
Yeah. You said something and about being your real self.
Yeah.
You know, and there's so many reasons that we tell ourselves that we're not worthy of being ourselves, let alone the external things.
Yeah.
But, you know, to just be who we are, is truly a gift, and you are who you are now, continuing to become more of, just from your journey and sharing with us.
Yeah.
So, I appreciate that we're here today to hear that.
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm here to say it.
Yeah. Well, and I apologize. You're kind of going in and out, but your voice is clear and strong. So
Good. That's the part that counts.
Well, no, it's okay. I'm glad it doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect me.
No.
And the folks are still here with us because the message that you're sharing is what it's all about anyway. So we can take it off the screen and still hear the voice.
So good. That's right. We could do it over the phone, you guys. Talk about outdated. Awesome.
So then, what you remember when you said, "I'm gonna do this," and start to create your business? Because we're kind of getting down to some last minute things that people were like, this is what is this? This time is now the resignation revolution still, and people are listening to this and they're thinking about doing something on their own, and talk to me about that. Tell us a little bit about that. Drop some gold.
Yeah. I just want to encourage you to come at a decision like that from a place of healthy in you. So this is going to be frustrating for some of you who are wired similar to me, where you want to keep the forward movement. It's very difficult to spend your time and focus on the internal part of why you make a decision and where you're coming from when you make a decision. But I just want to encourage you to do that. I realized, I think it was last year, that focus, attention, and energy are all resources just like money. You get to pick what you do with them, and it is of extreme value to you what you do with them. So remind yourself what you're paying your focus, attention, and energy to, because you're paying it. Even our language around that, right? Spend time, pay attention. They're money words. So that's a word on where to make a decision like that from. How am I going to get clear on what is meaningful work for me? Well, if I haven't spent the time with me, I'm going to be stabbing around in the dark. I'm going to be throwing spaghetti at a wall, seeing what sticks, right? Like, there are things I'm conscious of that I enjoy or that I like, but unless it's coming from a deep place in you where it reflects what you value in life, it's probably not going to stick. And I would hate for you to spend a lot of external solution, so spending a lot of time and money on something that you haven't spent a lot of focus, attention, or energy on the inside.
Yeah, because what I'm hearing as I listen to you, Annaliese, is that, I just envision this thing as you're digging down deep and you're really kind of getting to the real juice of what's happening. There's some healing involved there, right?
Yeah.
And you're healing along the way, and then that struggle becomes a message to people,
right? Because I know what it's for now. I didn't know what it was for before. And healing happens when you accept that you're healing too. It's a relationship that you get to have with yourself. Like, healing isn't something that a professional does to you or for you. Healing is also something you accept that is happening to you.
It's the result of the work that you're willing to do to be uncomfortable to get on the other side.
It is.
And so I hear that in your message and that stuff what you're teaching. So and so now I made a note here. I want to make sure I don't miss it, because I like you had some things you were thinking about offering to the audience now. So let's make sure we take a couple of minutes, because people need to get a hold of you and something special for them. So I want to take a few minutes and talk about that, please.
Yes. So I do have a Linktree link, which is usually just the easiest way to get access to all my social media stuff, to my website. If you want some more info, I would encourage you to go ahead and follow me on those avenues. So the Linktree link is just linktree.com/Coach Annaliese. And I know that I have kind of a long name and it's sort of involved with all of the letters. So you can see it there, Annaliese. But
they have it in the chat too.
Oh, great. You have it in the chat too. Awesome. And something you're going to see in there that I just want to pull your attention to is I created a 30-minute session that you can have with me virtually. Or if you're in the West Michigan area, you could meet with me in person. But it's called the Stress Less session. So how many of us would love to stress a little bit less about some area of our life? That's what I really created it for, is to chat with you about what it is you're actually going through that's creating a lot of stress and just frustration. It weighs on you every day. You wake up at 3 a.m. thinking about it. That's the thing that I want you to get some relief about. So it's free, completely free. It's free to anybody you want to pass it on to. But I definitely want you guys to know about that, because that's probably the best way to just get in touch with me and get something really valuable out of it. You're going to walk away with a tip or a tool or something that is going to be nice and practical for you to apply to that. So I'm big on passing it on. So I really want you to feel like sustainable growth. Like when you de-stress, you know how to do it again. So that's important to me.
Because guess what? We're going to have to practice that. We have to create the habit.
That's right. That's right. And it's the work that's worth doing. Your brain is going to be like, this is really hard work. But you can tell your brain, hey, we've been doing really hard work and it's not really been getting us anywhere. So let's do hard work that gets us somewhere.
That's right.
That's helpful.
Yeah, well, and really, you just said something and I want to just kind of, co-sign along with it. The conversations and the sales job that we have the most responsibility is for the one on ourselves.
That's right.
Right. I mean, when I hear you talk about all this stuff, I just imagine myself in the mirror in the mornings talking to me back and forth. And like today, I was riding my bike right before this, and there's this, I'm fit for this, and you have to say it out loud. So I'm riding through the neighborhood, and I'm thinking people probably going to call the police because I'm shouting out, I'm fit.
I am. Too good, right? Too good. You just own where you're at, and you feel free to be it. Yeah. Like that's a good way to live. And I just want to say super quick, because I kind of haven't talked about me being a coach and having my own business. But I just want to say super quick, like it's very interesting to do work that requires something of me in my life. What I mean by that is like, if I'm not applying this stuff to myself first, how authentic or effective of a service could I really offer other people?
Wow.
So it has called a lot forth in me, and I'm here for that because it's been making amazing transformations. So I just wanted to share that too, that I wasn't necessarily fully aware that that was going to happen, but that's been part of my journey in my business as well.
Well, and I think that's why I connected with you right away, is because I could hear it. You were speaking what you were living and what you were learning about self in this journey, and humble enough to just say it like it is, and people could identify with it. So I'm glad that is there anything else that you'd like to add to that?
I was just going to say, I appreciate you saying that, because it's hard won. It's hard won. It was very uncomfortable to push down that self-preservation, to open myself up to be here and to communicate that this is what I'm about. But there is nothing like this feeling. It's amazing. And it's who I want to be. And I just want to thank you, Geoff, for bringing that out in me too, and creating a really great environment to do that. Well,
we appreciate that. And I'm just the voice of some folks helping create this opportunity for us, and our marketing director and all that work behind the scenes to make it happen. And I want to say a shout out to how we connected. And this is for people to be thinking about that are afraid of social media. Yeah. Through me stepping into a new platform, joining other groups. There was an early morning Wednesday group that has become a kind of a mainstay in my week. And it's about other people coming together in different professions and just, recharging and plugging in, and then finding out that, man, this person speaks to me and has a message, like yourself, So Pam, if you're listening, we appreciate you. We love you, and everybody in the crew that has done this. So any parting words, Annaliese, before we send you on your way?
I just always, in any interaction, and this is kind of crazy because this is something I feel like God wanted to show me. You've got a thread in you of something that's true from when you were a kid. I remember thinking this in middle school, that, oh, what I really want is somebody to walk away from a conversation with me knowing themselves better.
Yeah.
That's what I want for you guys. I want you to catch that you're trying to talk to you about what's true in you. And there's a more for each and every one of you. I 100% know it. That's why my coaching business is called Wake Your Dream, because you've got it. It just needs to be woken up.
Yeah.
And you can do it.
Yeah. And that thread piece, baby. So
yeah,
what a way to close it out.
That's crazy.
I thank you so much. And for those of you, make sure that you listen to it later, reach out to her and share this conversation. And I really thank you, and continue to do great things.
My pleasure, and I will. You too.
We're with you in a second. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right. Okay. Hey, what did I tell you? Listen, make sure you kind of think about some things and drop in some comments in the chat. Thank everybody for participating today, doing what we asked you to do, and the message that she left with. Remember that. Remember the thread, right? The thread that kind of leads back to you, right? So, look, you guys already know where we are with your assignment too. I am. Take that away today and blend in the things that Annaliese has shared with you, right? That you can take away now and start the transformation, create different habits, make a difference in your life. And the last thing I'll say to you is please, please, please do yourself a favor and continue to surround yourself with folks like Annaliese that are focused on helping you, that are focused on helping bring out that gift inside of you, turning out the clutter that we can all get trapped in, and worrying about things we can't control, and focus on the things that we can control, which is the conversations we have with ourselves about ourselves. So with that, hey, go subscribe, share this message with your friends. If you're real estate folks looking for some training and education, go to mastermind.com. We've got some opportunities there, and a private Facebook group, Transcending Lives of New Real Estate Investors. I think all that information will be in the chat. Take advantage of what Annaliese has offered you, right? There's no greater time than now. No greater time than now to take advantage of things that can change your life if you're willing to do the work. Good morning to you too, TM. Appreciate you joining in and saying hello. And for all of you that have been here today and will listen to us later, keep swinging, baby. No greater time than now to make a difference in your world. We believe you can do it, and we'd like to help you. See you on the next episode. Take care, baby. Bye-bye.